How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video because the broadcast of Kaban has just ended. What if an August full of news comes? The truth is that it bothers me a lot because let's remember that I am going on vacation and I am going to miss a little content, but don't worry, I am going to try to bring it to the greatest extent possible. So friends, this is what the summary of the entire Kabang broadcast has been with the new applications, new events and everything. We all started friends with the Fantastic Door Saga. As has been normal, every month they are going to bring us a modifier, and in this case it is based on the Invisible Woman. The attackers in the saga either have the loyalty of the Invisible Woman, dodge, or I had a passive and untouchable ability of 0.5 seconds. Every time you fail a hit, you get 15 seconds of cruelty, a maximum of 5 cruelty accumulations, so you don't have plus 2000 from 13 critical with 5 accumulations. And furthermore, these cruelties are paused until the attacker receives a blow or what gives a blow. It's basically the modifier for the characters in the saga. What else do we have, friends? Well, we have the update of the Valiente 2000 event. Version number 4 is valid, in which it will be launched on August 6 with monthly supervision, and the event quest is valid until September 3 with a new format of event missions that are in testing. The applications that in reference with last month are the following: A, less combat on each subscription, so we have one less combat than scenes. In theory, it reduces the duration. Still a team of 3 champions, same broadcast map setup. Each mission has a specific class restriction and full equipment selection node exchanges are required, as we already had in version 3. Aside from multiple boss fights with scale permission, we once again have those fights that I don't like so much because you had to be repeating the boss several times and the rewards are obtained in the 6 missions. So in this case, I won't be able to broadcast you or anything because I won't be here. In my setup, I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm very sorry. Friends, what else do we have? Well, we have the event mission with adaptive difficulty. This is going to be released in September, and what we are told is that it is make sure that the event missions are always relevant content for all summoners, not the difficulty in the traditional base level and the old difficulty, the Guantele format of both scales in according to your progression. So we will see this in September, similar to the version. Not Valiant the reward if the difficulty is climbed in the top 30 prestige to more prestige, because the more difficulty you will have voucher and rewards based on milestones. So you have to stay tuned in the September broadcast to see what they tell us about this new event mission with adaptive difficulty. What else do we have? Well, we have the Battle Royale Brawl. Friends, we have the mission of celebrating Fintes. Basically, we have to face the Fintes path towards victory in Battle Royale 2023. There will be a mission with 4 paths and individual objectives to use Fintes champions in the Battle Royale. Rewards geared to the actual Summoner Fest event is worth the August 13th release, so we'll see how it comes out on August 13th. I'm almost back from my vacation, so I'll spend it on the 15th or so, and I'll be able to bring you this battle, and if not, maybe I'll bring it to you directly. Or from the cell phone without speaking. Unfortunately, what else do we have? Well, we have the Relics of Startup. This really hurts me a lot to skip because it is going to be a before and after in Relics, the Sea and Superhero Battle, and in this case, they are released on August 8th. Basically, in a week, it will be released in batches as in the previous Relics, and it will have a main attribute and 1 secondary attribute. Apart from that, there will be a statistical bonus in both attack and defense, and logically, since we have the strikers again, but the relics of this raise a series of questions. The launch is in conjunction with an Alliance Relics event. Okay, we'll talk about that later. So, they are available in a new form of fragments. So, the ones we already had 6, 5, 4, and 3 stars are not good for us. Okay, there are gonna be some new fragments. Strikers come again, as I said before. Alloys, rank safety gems, existing awakening gems will work equally with the static featured relic. So for example, if you get this superior 6-star Iron Man, the 6-star Stuttgart relic serves you with this awakening gem that you already had saved. Star Startup will be available with 5 to 7 star rarities. The initial thing is the whopping 60 startup relics unique due to rarity. Therefore, 6 by 3, 180 friends. Since you can have a maximum of 180 startup relics, it seems outrageous to me. But friends, no. We still have more news from the startups that have been presented to us. Basically, they are designed to alleviate the need for more relics of players and also reduces the complexity of interactions, focusing on statistics instead of making skills. This allows us to create more relics faster. Attackers have become a fundamental part of the Marvel experience, and we need to provide players with enough relics to support this. Indeed, that is what we were complaining about for a long time, and the bosses were bringing us more and more content. For example, from Act 9 of Act 8, that we should use these relics to develop a series of missions, because now it seems that he has finally realized that we need more relics, and they are going to launch these startup relics that are 180 between the 507H stars. What else do we have? Well, the new story content will include startup fragments. It is valid, therefore, the one starting on March 9th, which will surely premiere in September or October, since they will already bring this startup relics. The content of the existing story will remain the same, therefore, from 9.2 backwards, we will continue to have the same relics of 6 stars, 5, 4, etc. Okay, so that's not going to change the startup fragments in the rewards of client will be from September supervision. So we will have these fragments from September, and then we will have in the victory track of the battlegrounds, they will be exchanged for the 2500 of 6 stars. Because of these start cuts, I am currently scheduled for October for the victory track in October 2 months. So we will have to wait a little bit. Then friends have introduced us to the new idol character that is now available in the store starting August 7. For a value of 12 destroyed essences, that in reality, very few people are going to be able to obtain this software, because in reality, right now, there is a payment wall behind it, and apart from that, the free destroyed essences have not yet been distributed. August and September are still left to be able to get those free ones, and then if you want to get a character, you can get others by paying more. Okay, in this case, we are told that without Mule, Bleeding, and Poison, he has the power bar fractured. Like all idols, he has Wave Off. Cole on the second mid attack, doesn't do any critical hits, has strong power control, has power in his armor passive abilities, and has a pretty potent little energy that makes you play pretty fast with those power bars. The truth is that what he has taught us about this character looks very, very good. I will bring you a video of this character in rank 3 as soon as I come from my vacation for the week of the 15th or so. That's when I will be bringing you the gameplay of this Solvarch. We have also been taught Cassandra Nova that she actually has a gameplay very similar to Professor X, carrying the loads, and also has to act as a self-evasion similar to Bullseye. She's pretty actually. The character has Pinter, being a fairly chunga defender, basically expressed to channel and accumulate. The disadvantage of Euroshock is that they are currently very fashionable in mutants as counter evadir. When it is attacked while channeling, still basically when we maintain the strong blow, that's similar to what I said about Professor X, then they have Euroshocks in their special attacks, marked as passive against ability champions, so that they are not being taken away by non-contact attacks, similar to Negasonic, but except for the first medium attack. That's the only thing that has to be done, okay? It has immobilization with the first blow, the special attack. That is, it is going to root us. This is going to be a nuisance in defense. We will see how it develops, and it has strong regeneration with special 1 and massive explosive damage with the special 3. So it looks like he's going to be more of a defensive character than an attacker, and that to get his maximum damage, we are going to have to go through Sope. Attack 3, we will see when we can be testing the character. Then friends, we have a new update. Are we going to Baroncino? They had already taken advantage of their skills in the forum, although I have not done anything good for it, and they have basically improved it to be able to give it 7 stars. Basically, for semi-medium attacks, they wield a gun and pew and throw in permanent bleed disadvantages. That's very good. It's a very important change. Apart from that, it has a massive fury when immunity or purification are present, so very good. and then taking the place of Solbars as a new champion launcher, because we may be able to be obtaining this character of 7 in Crystal Sand and the Peerless Bondle, the Premium Gacha, and the Pool of Titans when the Titan's pool is going, this character is going to be on the Titan. Basically, in September, when it is updated, we will see how it looks, and now we will do an analysis when it comes on vacation. Then, friends, we have already been introduced again to the first wave of character buffs that was made up of Patriota, our friend Mcoc, and our friend Sundu. The Patriota one looks like it is going to look quite good. Let's read what they have changed. Basically, the heavy load is more extended. Then we have increased fury and reversal duration of shortened Rapture for faster damage burst, special vulnerability venation, increased power also increases multiple and non-Rapture linked vulnerability. And then he also hopes I'm not reading it. Firm against non-mutants with 3 disadvantages also move to keep base. So in this case, we will have to be testing it because in many words, we don't know how this Patriot can be good or not. We have John Doe concussion immunity against mutants. So perfect. They're not going to lower our abilities, bleed, swap. Created by Rapture, this is incredible. The immunity, I suppose, are immune to bleeding. For example, against Ultron, we face him because we will put Rapture on the staff. That's very good. Damage increased 100% chance of activation. Then we have the Steel in Dexterity swapping for invalidating greater property of both. Then we have the disadvantage of drowning, the special activity. 1 greater ratio of the disadvantage of blocking, healing, and fury of the special 2 more powerful with a lesser massive accumulation, guaranteed fury when activated. Therefore, I believe that the strength of this Nyando is going to be in Super Attack 2 as it was in the past, that if he hits you in defense or little eye that you hit, you will lose a lot of life. And then we have Bonachon, so he basically has a whole new special ability. Personal disadvantages get greater skill accuracy when attacked, while the force field is active. It removes all stun effects on him, so he becomes immune to stun, which previously made it strong in a good way that you could counteract that automatic block with stops. Now he's going to. Removing the force field begins with the reuse time when they activate it by a special and smooth their true and sense hits. Therefore, automatic blocks can now activate Parada Amigo. Be very careful because the mode looks like it's going to be a new one because this has already been in the past. It was a defensive goal because now it looks like it is going to be another stronger defensive goal because they are going to remove the stop and they are going to make automatic blocks that reactivate the stop. And on top of that, we are being told that it can be removed. The accurate sense and the accurate blow, well then friends, we don't know how we are going to be able to burst in this way, so we'll see how it turns out. What do we keep? Well, they have presented us with the Alliance route in its difficulty. It is only valid where we are going to be able to be with a test map of this Alliance route in which they are going to work similar to what we had in the Alliance route of the Alliance. Okay? So we have to choose our role, Vanguard, Salt, or the other. Then we have to choose. The Enhancer chooses the mission and we fight against the boss, which in theory what we have been told is that the boss is the champion, which is why he is here, and the good thing about it is that we have no damage limit, and apart from that we are going to have a series of individual objectives for a limited time, so we will see how those rewards are. Another content that I'm going to skip because I'm on vacation. What else do we have? Well, friends, we have the super personal daily event for us because now they are going to introduce us on August 11. The weekly super event of the Alliance is weekly, not daily. Okay, friends, it is similar to the daily super event, and what is done is to eliminate the summoner and combat advance events. The units move to the redesign of the daily missions. We will receive a rune compensation package available for August. Then we have to eat how we get the points. Not earning points, playing both in and out of combat. And do you recommend them? They include catalysts, loyalty, artifacts, battery trophy tokens, battle tokens, and more. So we'll see how this super weekly Alliance event goes. It's not daily, it's worth remembering that. In addition, we have a redesign of the daily missions, but this is from September. Okay, no, in August is in September. And you will basically say what the daily missions are. Well, there is a section in the daily mission game where you can be getting catalysts, getting those resurrectors, getting gold. Well, that's what's going to change. The old daily quests are now available. The new daily quests are already in. It's 2 standard repetitive days of healing resources if the lower price healers are also going to stay. So if you're a Valiant like me, but want to keep upgrading your 1-star or 2-star characters, you can access those basic grade 1 tastings. Apart from it has a change of supply races after Monday to Saturday with different materials, you can earn 1 key per day. That is what encourages us to play this new daily mission. And then we have a version of the super event. Since the daily mission is worth 4 keys to participate, therefore we have to in the week, which are 6 days. We have to participate 4 times to be able to get those 4 keys that they ask us to enter, which I suppose will be much earlier, so we will see how these daily mission design issues are. But starting in September, okay, and friends, we have a Rebirth event. They're over. The reunion event brought us last year. The previous one brought us the Legends event because friends in this case have called it the Renaissance event. The updated 7-hour crystals are back. In this case, they are going to be called Rebirth crystals. Okay, I think it's called that. We are going to have the 7-hour crystals. Therefore, I tell you again, I recommend that you put timers on your cell phone so as not to lose these crystals. Then we have Startup Relics Alliance event, which is what I told you at the beginning of the video. When we talk about the StarCat's Relics, we have the Crucible of Act 8, which is another content that I'm going to miss, but I hope to record everything and be able to at least upload it, okay? And although there has been no talk or anything like that, we will have individual objectives and a Crucible Kingdom event that we will see to see what that is. We have a login calendar and a celebration arena similar to what we had in the Legends event and the Kingdom event as we had Forgiveness. The event we had last year, then we have a group of Legend selectors with 6 Big Vision champions with some fixes and cleanup, and 5 more champions who are going to get a tune-up. Therefore, we have 5 new Bufeos. To 3 Rebirth tokens for a 7-star selector so that you can select the 7-star character you want. In this case, 3 were removed. Okay, it's similar to the reunion event we had last year. What else do they tell us? Well, we have the Relic Alliance event. Okay, before continuing to talk about the Revere event, we are talking about the Relic Alliance event. Basically on August 8, as we have seen before, a Relic release event where you have to earn points for opening Relics stanzas of any rarity. It means that based on from Runasos or based on purchases on the web, well, you're gonna have to be opening these relics. Then we have relic classification, any type of relic that in this case can come in handy by completing individual objectives in games that involve relics. Any relic type 1 from Final Milestones grants a Rebirth token. So be careful. Here it seems that Kaba is encouraging us to spend money on these startups, but let's see how these stat cuts really come out in the game. But hey, the important thing here is that we also want a Rebirth token, but the important thing is that they say no. Let's not worry because there are more than 3 this year. Just last year, if I didn't get all 3. There is also that without the 7-star selector now, there will be more than 3. So we will be able to at least not spend money on this Relic Alliance event. Okay, what else do we have? Well, the Crucible of Act 8. As we have said before, this launch is August 13 with absolutely all the bosses of Act 8, 2 difficulties, the law. Legendary, which is 1 path, and normal difficulty, which is 4 paths. The legendary difficulty is the good one worth permanent content, and the birthday party will give us 2 rebirth tokens to finish during this event. Then also worth the kingdom event, which is basically they will give us points for objectives, defeat opponents, and use revivers, stones, rebirth reserve signature gems, and the milestone rewards. Rebirth token on the top milestone, and complete the crucible and mini crucible to get to the top. So we will also have good rewards thanks to this Lacto 8 Crucible, which the truth is I really want. Why do it? I'll spend it, I'll record it and upload it to YouTube. Okay, what else do we have? Well, we have a mini Lacto 8 Crucible, a new content that has been created that is a lighter version of the Crucible. Basically, there are 4 missions. Be careful that we have left it. I don't know why now the lighter version of Crucible has returned. Lacto 8 equals 4 missions, 1 route for each. The defenders are 3 stars, 2 attackers are 2 stars. Mysterious rewards, as if to say the secondary mission of this month. So let's get down to the 2 out of 3 star version of all defenders. I want to see how Glicantes, Bahamut, and Estitanis fare in this version of 3 stars. What else do we have? Well, again, we return to the Renaissance event, part 2, between August 20 and September 3, because we will once again have the Renaissance Crystals of 7. The upgraded ones grant 2 rewards, one granting champions or materials, and another that grants consumables. Then we have a 14-day calendar that grants a birth certificate on the last day. Therefore, we are already counting 4 tokens, sand individual events, basically as always, winning sands with fights with 1 and 2 stars to earn points and another birth tokens. At the final milestone, we are already 5. Therefore, something easy, we are going to be able to get that 7 character. And friends, here we have the character changes, the updates that the releases have made in August, for example, of Room Teeth, and you cannot reduce the duration of the lost disadvantages. She starts with 5 Furies in Buteros, therefore that encourages her to be a better attacker once she has converted her Furies to maximum, which is why before Furies, based on how she is, have 200% duration. We will talk about this in a future video. The same Cool of Sinian release in August begins with 3 persistent charges in Battlegrounds and Alliance Wars. Therefore, improves the attack. To a large extent, to have achieved its maximum damage, eliminate the requirement of 95% of the issue 3. Basically, they are quite strict changes because later I tell you we will read with the update notes. We have Antivenom, which also belongs to the Revit event. Special 2 now saves 2 without more recent advantages. Kuria, you are going to be total or mortal strike synergy with next midnight. Then no, it does not infringe an indefinite 2.5 of exacerbate passive because it gives a disadvantage. Then in the end, this you have to be trying Dr. Voodoo again while it is above a bar, since strong attacks consume bar to obtain moon improvements, which is basically what we are going to cancel to put poison. Let's see how this character works. Then we have Night Tracer, that at the moment, what they have taught us from on Kavan's part, it is the one that had the most yellow hits and that I really want to try because this character has a fairly high critical index. And finally, Big Vision, which is the queen, I think, of this Revit event that we are going to want to get everyone. 7 stars world, and that they have given it a bug correction and some series of improvements subject to skill accuracy. Those that gain solar energy that are no longer subject to skill accuracy. Special Fury 3 is no longer subject to skill accuracy and bug correction, which is a strong attack. It only infringes also. Additional for an invalidation and now scales correctly to 3. So I think she is the queen of this event. Review and friends have announced that they are working on updating Act 6. It is in development and there are still a few months left. I think that by maybe October, November, we could be good. Not October. I think by November, December, we can be having this reward from Act 6, both rewards and content similar to what we already had with Act 5. And we also have, well, friends, we have another very good news. The Champions of the Omega Days. Let's remember that it was last year's event in which we have to open Crystales, since in September they are going to include Crystales, base Crystales Veil, along with the use of Crystal and such. So we have Molman, Corvus, Omega Sentinel, Lonsot, Quicksilver, and Omega Red available in September in the basic 7-star crystals. This is spectacular news. And friends have shown us a concept art of the new character of Mr. Knight, our choice of this year's summoner, and it looks very good. And I have already also released a small gameplay of the character that looks very, very good. We'll see how it goes. There are many yellow critics for this character, and friends have presented us with other very important news. The Summoner Choice Reward 2025, and they have shown us who the 4 champions are. They are very good champions and totally Marvel Greats. We are talking about Loki from classic Ghost Rider, the lifelong Ghost Rider, Winter Soldier, so that he stops being our fighting horse in the realm of legends, and Black Widow. They are 4 very strong pillars in what the Marvel world has been and very conical in Marvel Battery, superheroes, and friends. I'm hesitating a lot. I was going to tell you who I'm going for, but I'm hesitating between Gut Rider and Loki. I like me Gut Rider a lot, but it's Loki, friends. Loki is Loki, so after this video, I will upload a poll to the channel to see which one you like best and which one you are going to vote for this case. I think I honestly stay with Loki. So nothing, friends. Well, this is all the news we have this August. There are a lot of it. It is a fairly long video. So friends, you have always liked the video me that where are you, and see you in other videos. Bye-bye! And before finishing the video, thank you very much to all of you who are members of the channel for becoming a member. You got it in the description. Many thanks to the TheShori of Ana Banana, Eliel Ramirez, and Oscar Salmeron, and to the Authentic Shori of Facundo Juan. Thank you all very much.